Alright, what is up, gamer friends? This is your Max Miss, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about E3 2014. Wow, what a way to start. That was awesome. Alright, so this is some of the stuff, the little stuff that I just haven't had the time to put some articles together, and it sucks. I hate it so much because there was so much stuff that I saw at E3, and I've been wanting to write about it forever, and it's small stuff, very small stuff. So let's just get into it, alright? First up, alright, my favorite thing, well, not my favorite thing, one of my favorite things of the smaller stuff was the Final Fantasy VII G-Bike game. That they're actually making a game based on the mini game from Final Fantasy VII, where you drive the motorcycle and you fight off enemies. And the trailer for the official game had like this crazy looking boss. They didn't just take the mini game and put it into a game by itself. They made a full game out of it. So I can't wait for that. That looks really cool. You got to look it up. Final Fantasy VII G-Bike. Okay, that's the name of that. Persona 4, I played a little bit of that. I played a round or two of it, and it was pretty cool. The graphics are nice. I'm a big fan of anime, though. I don't watch many animes lately. Just don't have the time to watch every anime that I want to watch and all that stuff. I still haven't even watched Persona 4 yet. But, or Persona, yeah, it's Persona 4, right? I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list of things to watch. But I checked out the game because I was there, and I got to go to E3 for 3 days this year, and it was super cool, amazing. By the third day, I was exhausted, but the coolest thing about the third day was the lines were so short. I was so surprised. I was shocked out of my mind. I was like, seriously? Is everybody already done with the E3 already? Good! Get out of here so I can go play everything that I didn't get to play in the first 2 days, although my feet were just killing me. So, but it was cool. So Persona 4, I got to talk to a game tester who had been working with Atlas for 3 years. So he seemed to know his thing. He knew his stuff. It was pretty cool. He showed me, he was talking to me about the game. He told me that the game is actually going to have a 12-hour campaign for a fighting game. I was just like, wow, no way. And that's counting both sides, because each character has a good side and an evil side with their own story that you can play through as you play through the game. So the good version and the bad version have their own story. That's pretty cool. Also, when you play, there's actually a setup, like an option. Now you can turn this off, but for new players, especially because Persona fans are probably going to play the game because they're Persona fans, but they might not be a fighting game player. So what they'll do is they have this thing where you can have like combo moves automatically on. So while you're fighting, you just press their buttons, you're just fighting, you just basically mash buttons and you'll pull off all your crazy cool combos and stuff. And you can turn that off so you can fight for real. Like, you can fight pros. You can, you don't have to have it on. And I believe there would be a way to where players, you would know if you're fighting against somebody that has it on or off. Like, you're not going to be fighting against somebody that has it on while you have it off. You'll be fighting people with, on the same skill. I'm pretty sure, if I remember all that right. That's pretty cool. So Persona 4 for a fighting game looked pretty impressive, and especially, I'm not a fan, but I'm also not a fan. Like, I don't dislike the anime, but I've just never seen it enough to be a fan. So, but it is on my list to watch. Let's see here. What do we got next? Oh, Counter Spy. I didn't play it, and it's now out now too. It's out now. Counter Spy. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a 3D stealth-ish game with the 2D game with a 3D mixture. So it looked interesting. It looked really interesting. I didn't play it, so I don't have much to say as far as experience-wise, but it looked really cool. Let's see here. Oh, Zing the Land Beyond. Okay, I had to mention this because it looked beautiful. It's an indie game, adventure puzzle-ish game, and it's also going to be on the Oculus Rift or have Oculus Rift support, and it just looked beautiful. That's Zing the Land Beyond. It looked really cool. Let me see here. Oh, I had my notes set up and then I lost them. Crap. Alright, well, so Diablo 3, I played it on the PS4. Or no, wait. Did I play it? I don't think I played it. No, I didn't play it. I watched it, though. I watched some people play it. And it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I was like, wait a second. This looks better than my PC version. And I really thought that. And it's very subtle differences. Really subtle. Just in the sense they made it look like you could tell like it's made for console, just the console version, like the way the pop-ups, the messages that pop up for like Massacre quest dialogue, like just the boxes, the frame, the border of that stuff. You know, it's not necessarily better graphics wise than the PC version, but it's stylized for console, and it kind of made me mad because I was like, this looks better than the PC version. Like, I want this. This is so cool. Why don't they make the PC version look like this? It was beautiful. So that kind of made me mad. I was like, damn it, PC Master Race my ass. Oh, Final Fantasy 14. So they had a booth, and they were doing this really cool event where random people be able, you know, you get in line, you go up there to play it, and they had like they gave people groups, and they gave the groups 15 minutes to kill a raid boss. I believe this was in their one of their more recent patches for E3 or something. It might not have been, but I think it was one of their recent patches where they added the boss Leviathan. So they did this event. They were like, you know, take the boss down in 15 minutes. And if they did, if a group took it down in 15 minutes, not every group did. If they did take it down in 15 minutes, they got like really cool prizes. I don't remember exactly what. I wish I noted that down, but they got cool prizes. I looked at the prize and I was like, whoa! And this was on my third day there where I watched this, and I was just like, I was too tired. I could barely think straight. All I wanted to do was chop my feet off. That's what I wanted to do. So, but it was cool to see. It was really cool. 15 minutes to take down the boss, and then while they were set up in their groups, like each monitor for any spectators that were watching, you could see which player, like on each monitor it would say like tank, healer, DPS, or whatever. It would say their class, but you could tell who was healing, you could tell who was tanking, and you could tell who was DPSing. So if you wanted to watch a specific class playing against the Leviathan boss, you could just go watch the monitor. So I thought that was really cool. Far Cry 4, I'm really interested in it, mostly because I love 3 so much, but the demo that I got to play at E3 wasn't super special. It's basically an outpost from Part 3. So I'd played Outpost so many times in Part 3 that I was like, I don't want to play an Outpost, I want to do something new. But, they had to set up the demo to, you couldn't just go do whatever you wanted. So I was like, damn it. But it was cool, though. I did get to watch some people. I didn't want to do the things they did, but I did watch a guy get in like the little one-man helicopter thing and fly above the outpost and just launch bombs down on them. It was pretty cool. It was very funny and cool. It just wasn't something that I wanted to do. And one of the developers I talked to, I don't know if I remember if I wrote his name down. Oh, Liam. Liam was a cool kid. He was 20 something. I think he was like really early 20-year-old. And when he told me that, I was just like, are you kidding me, dude? You're 20 years old and you're freaking developing a video game? Like, oh my gosh. And not just some indie video game, Far Cry freaking 4, man. I was just like, wow, that was so cool. I was impressed by that. I thought that was awesome. Here we go. And now this is something I had to mention just because I was I walked through all of E3. It's the same thing last year. I went for one day. I made sure I would see everything because I was certain I would never see E3 again. So I got to go this year all 3 days. So this time I made sure I did the same thing. I got to see everything, but I also made sure that this time I got to play more because last year I pretty much didn't play anything. I played like 2 games, but I made sure I went to every booth and I got to interview some people. Anyways, so this particular game, this is by TWE Games. It's a mobile game, and it just looked really cool for me to share. I'm not a mobile gamer, but I thought this looked really neat. This is called Mutant Metal Blood. So just the name alone, man, like I was just like, seriously, that's such a funny, silly name. It's silly, but it's funny, and it's also kind of cool because it's silly, funny, like silly, funny, cool, I guess. Mutant Metal Blood, and it's a 2-player co-op game or PvP. Had pretty dang nice graphics, and interesting looking skills. It looked fun. It looked fun enough definitely to write it down and mention it and be like, check out Mutant Metal Blood. And I said that 3 times. That'd be a hard game to remember, well, not really. The name's pretty easy to remember, but it's a small title as far as I'm concerned because I don't do mobile gaming. All right, so next up we have PlayKey. I just wanted to throw out a shout out to PlayKey because they are a cloud gaming service in Russia and other regions that, I have a bunch of friends that aren't in America, and it's pretty much the most major cloud gaming platform right now is OnLive, which is in the US, UK, and Canada. So, there's a lot of people from Brazil, Jamaica, and like all these other places that want to play cloud gaming. So there are more cloud gaming platforms coming out there. So you want to look up PlayKey, one word, PlayKey. and they'll also have a micro console of their own, so you can actually hook it up to your TV and play, play like that. If you don't already hook up your computer to your TV, like some of us do, some cool people like myself. All right, I played Forza 2, and I won a freaking card. It was like they had this little card. It has a passcode on it, or a redemption code for five. I think it's 5 free cars. I don't know if it says 5 free cars. I think it is. I think it's 5 free cars when the game launches. Just 5 free cars for winning at the race at E3. It was really cool. So I played a track of that, and I came in first, and I won the code for it. Now it was interesting because if you didn't win the race after you played the lap, you played through that certain lap, there was a lottery thing. Like you press the button, you watch the little lottery button go through, and you could win the code or you don't win. It was neat how they did that. I thought that was cool. So I have a code for that to give away. I'm not going to use it. I don't have an Xbox One, and I don't have Forza 2. So I will be giving out that code. I've been waiting for the game to come out to give it out because I don't want to give it out when nobody owns it. Has it come out already? It might. I don't. Has it come out? Anyways. All right. So let's see. Source. I don't know if you've heard of this game. I hope you have because I've written about it before. But Source is an independent game coming to the PlayStation 4, and it looks beautiful. Now, when I first saw it, it looked like a flying game, and it reminded me of Panzer Dragoon, but it's not. It's not like that. You don't actually fly in it, even though it looks like you fly. You actually hover, and you're kind of stuck to the ground. But you hover, and it feels like flying, but you don't actually get to fly anywhere. It's not free roaming flying, and it's really interesting. It's beautiful. It's a puzzle game. You're basically. It's really hard to explain, but it's a really cool game. The developer, I didn't write his name. This was the third day. I got his name, but I didn't write it down. I was just exhausted on the third day. I was so exhausted. Oh my gosh. But so the developer, it was him and his wife. This guy and his wife made Source for, and they had a Kickstarter for it, which is how I found out about it. Basically the guy pretty much mailed everything about for the game. The wife helped. I can't remember exactly what what else the wife helped with, but she did the music as well. She did the music and a little bit of other stuff, but he pretty much made the game. If I understood it right. I could be getting that wrong. I hope she didn't get mad at him if they ever happen to come across this video. Well, that's a cool game, Source, coming to the PlayStation 4 and possibly other platforms. I'm not sure, but I know it's for the PS4 for sure. The one cool thing that I thought was really neat about it was that when they originally showed their game, it was basically like a 2D top-down view. Might as well have been an Atari game, but the concept was so good that Sony was like, "Here, take our dev kit and see what you can do with it." And if you take a look at the game Source, that's what he did with it, and it's beautiful. So it's just really impressive. They started with like a nothing little demo thing, like a concept, and came up, they just blasted it. They really kicked some butt with it. So it's really cool to see. I played a little bit of Dying Light, 5 to 10 minutes worth. Time for me is a little, I really don't keep much track of time. But, so I played some Dying Light. It was alright. I'm not a huge lover of Dead Island. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. It's a fun little game. The parkour in Dying Light was pretty cool. It was a nice step up for sure from from Dead Island. No Titanfall. I cannot wait for the next game to throw in some parkour that Titanfall did. Oh my gosh. But no, so the parkour in Dying Light is pretty cool. My favorite thing about Dying Light is the melee hits, where you get to, when you do critical hits and stuff, and you see the X-ray vision of their bones snapping and all. It's just, that is really cool. I love that. Let's see what else I got here. I think that's most of it. I got a couple smaller notes to share just for fun. So crap, where did it go? I had one of my favorite notes. Oh, I've already mentioned this a couple times, I believe. So the third day, I was there for 3 days this time, and the third day was the best. I couldn't believe it because there was the lines were so short. I was just like, oh my gosh, you could just save yourself and go on the final day and not have your feet be killing you and just rush through everything. I wouldn't do that because I don't. It wouldn't be a great idea, but you could if you wanted to. You know, the lines are really short. It was great. It was pretty awesome. Does this video keep looping? Does this guy keep doing the same thing over and over again? Anyways, so another note that I thought was really funny. This was something I was like, really? Because I was walking around through E3, and there were a few times where I would go to the bathroom just to wash my hands. And I was like, you know what? These guys need to put wet naps at like every booth. They should have wet naps everywhere. And they should make sure they keep them refilled, man. E3 should have wet naps all over the place, man. Oh my gosh. Your hands get clammy, you know, you get sweaty or warm, whatever, man. They should have. There was like, I think I covered that entire show, and I only remember seeing 2 different booths that had hand sanitizer. 2 out of the entire show. I was just like, what? Give me some wet naps, please. I'll take that. And an interesting thing too. This didn't happen the first day. I believe this was the second and the third day where they started checking IDs every time you wanted to go into one of the showrooms, because you know you can walk out, you go from one building to the next. This is just the way it is. You leave one building, you go to the next building. It's in like 2 different buildings and whatever. Or you can leave to go get a snack, you leave to go get food and stuff. And so the second and third day they were checking IDs with badges every time. You could not get in without, and I was just like, whoa, where did that get? So apparently people were passing badges around so other people could get in. So they really enforced their security there. I thought that was interesting. That was just something fun to note down. I believe that was all of it. Lots of fun stuff, fun times. E3 is amazing. I think it's incredible. And you know, when I got to go the first time, hopefully you know my story. If you don't, I will post a link to it because it was just an amazing store. The first time that I got to go for one day. I'm just checking my notes while I talk about this, but it was amazing. So, and I never thought I would see E3 again, but I got to go again, thankfully, for my awesome, super epic job. And I got to go for 3 days this time, and I went for 1 day last year. So, just 3 days, dude. I was, oh my gosh, E3 is amazing, dude. It's like, it still kind of feels like a dream come true because this is my stuff. This is my thing. I love video games. I love video games so much. So I've been really mad at myself for not writing these articles about this stuff that I've been wanting to share for a while. But it's the smaller stuff, you know. I was going to title the article like the smaller things of E3 and talk about it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. As it may seem like I could have probably taken the time that I made this video to write the articles, but it would take longer. I'm telling you, it would take longer to write out the articles. So it's like, damn it. That's why I'm doing this video. So anyways, I will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. This is The Evil Within from, crap. I don't remember who did this YouTube video, but it's The Evil Within. I'm sure you've seen it in lots of places, a lot of different places. So yeah, this game looks really great, which is why I wanted to have this playing while I talked about E3. I didn't get to see this at E3. I saw the booth. They had a really cool booth, but I didn't see like any kind of playable demo. It might have been private. They might have had a private demo for the super cool dudes. I will get there one day. All right. So let's see you next time. All right. Game on, people.